5 shocking facts about real-life circus freaks. Step right up, guys, and prepare to be amazed. Today, we're delving into the fascinating and often misunderstood world of real-life circus freaks. These are the performers who defied societal norms and pushed the boundaries of what was considered normal. From the bearded ladies to the conjoined twins, these performers were unique, complex, and sometimes shocking. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn 5 shocking facts about the lives of real-life circus freaks. But be warned, some of these facts may just blow your mind. Alright, let's get into the meat of this video. Fact number 1. Did you know that some of the most famous circus freaks in history were actually fake? That's right, the sideshow performers that were billed as mermaids, unicorns, and half-human, half-animal hybrids were often nothing more than clever illusions. For example, the Fiji mermaid was a hoax created by stitching together the torso of a monkey with the tail of a fish, and the famous elephant man was actually suffering from a rare genetic disorder called Proteus syndrome. The lobster boy was born in 1937 with a rare genetic condition known as ectrodactyly, which gave his hands and feet a claw-like appearance. Myrtle Corbin was born in 1868 with a rare condition known as dipygus, which caused her to have 2 separate pelvises and 4 legs. She began performing in circus sideshows at a young age and became known as the Four-Legged Lady. Despite her success, Corbin faced constant scrutiny and objectification from her audiences. Wang the human unicorn, whose real name was Wu Yongning, was born in China in 1934 with a rare skin condition that caused horn-like growths to protrude from his head. He became a circus performer in the 1950s and quickly gained international fame. And General Tom Thumb, whose real name was Charles Sherwood Stratton, was born in 1838 with dwarfism. These are just a handful of individuals, as history is abundant with numerous other examples. It's a sad truth that some people were exploited and misled for the sake of entertainment. Fact number 2. Some circus freaks were quite wealthy. While it's true that many performers were paid very little, some of the more popular and well-known circus freaks actually made quite a bit of money. For example, Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man, made enough money to support himself and even had his own apartment. And the famous bearded lady, Annie Jones, was paid $1,500 a week, which was an enormous sum of money at the time. It just goes to show that not all circus freaks were living in poverty and despair. Fact number 3. Circus freaks weren't always mistreated by their employers. While there were certainly cases of performers being abused or taken advantage of, there were also instances of employers taking good care of their freaks. For example, P.T. Barnum, the famous circus owner, paid for medical expenses and even gave some of his performers retirement pensions. And when the conjoined twins, Chang and Eng Bunker, retired, they were given a large sum of money and a farm to live on for the rest of their lives. It's important to remember that the lives of circus freaks were complex and varied. Fact number 4. Fact number 4 is truly remarkable, as it showcases how some circus freaks were able to use their unique platform to advocate for social justice. These performers faced numerous challenges and obstacles due to their physical differences, but they were able to use their fame and notoriety to speak out against injustices they saw in the world. One such example is the story of the conjoined twins Millie and Christine McCoy, who was born into slavery in North Carolina in 1851. Despite their difficult start in life, they were able to become successful performers in the sideshow industry, using their unique physical connection to captivate audiences across the United States. However, they didn't stop there. The McCoy twins used their platform to advocate for racial justice and equality, speaking out against the injustices they saw in the world around them. They were often quoted as saying that their connection was a metaphor for the unity they wished to see in the world. Another example of a circus freak who used their platform for social justice is Alvin Ailey, an African-American performer who broke down racial barriers in the 1950s and became a successful dancer and choreographer. Ailey faced significant challenges due to his race and his sexuality, but he persevered and went on to create some of the most iconic dance performances of the 20th century. His work often explored issues of race and identity, and he used his platform to advocate for equality and justice. These stories show that circus freaks were not just sideshow performers, but complex and multifaceted individuals who used their platform to make a difference in the world. Their contributions to social justice serve as a reminder that even those who are often marginalized and overlooked have the power to create change and inspire others. If you're finding this video as fascinating and mind-boggling as we did, make sure to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future content. And if you have any suggestions for future topics, let us know in the comments below. But remember, if you leave a comment, make sure it's not too freaky, or we might have to put you in the next circus show. Just kidding, folks. So let's move on to our next astonishing fact. Fact number 5. Some circus freaks were able to use their unique physical characteristics to their advantage. For example, Grady Stiles Jr., known as the Lobster Boy because of his claw-like hands, was able to use his condition to intimidate and even control his family. He was eventually convicted of murder and died in prison, but his story is a fascinating and disturbing example of how some people with physical differences were able to exert power over others. The treatment of circus freaks varied widely across different cultures and time periods. In some parts of the world, people with physical differences were celebrated and even considered divine. In other places, they were ostracized and shunned. Some famous actors got their start in circus freak shows. For example, actor Johnny Eck was born without the lower half of his body and got his start performing in freak shows. He later became a successful actor and appeared in films like Freaks and The Wizard of Oz. While the era of the classic sideshow may be over, the tradition of circus freak shows lives on in a more modern form. While some people might view these shows as exploitative and outdated, the reality is much more complex than that. In many cases, the performers themselves feel a strong sense of pride and community in being part of a sideshow. These modern-day circus freak shows often feature a blend of traditional circus acts such as trapeze artists and fire eaters, alongside performers who display unique physical characteristics. These might include bearded ladies, sword swallowers, and people with rare genetic conditions. While some might argue that showcasing these physical differences is exploitative, many of the performers themselves see it as an opportunity to embrace and celebrate their uniqueness. For many sideshow performers, being part of a circus freak show is a way to find a sense of community and belonging. These performers often face significant challenges in their daily lives, such as discrimination and prejudice. But being part of a sideshow allows them to be part of a supportive community that understands and appreciates their differences. In addition to providing a sense of community, circus freak shows also give the performers the opportunity to showcase their skills and talents. Many of these performers have spent years honing their craft and perfecting their acts, and being part of a sideshow allows them to share their talents with the world. For some, it's a chance to make a living doing what they love, while for others, it's a way to challenge stereotypes and push back against societal norms. Of course, there are certain valid criticisms of circus freak shows, and it's important to recognize that these shows have a complicated and often controversial history. However, it's also important to recognize that sideshow performers are not just objects of curiosity, but multifaceted individuals with their own agency and sense of identity. While circus freak shows may not be as popular as they once were, they continue to exist in a more modern form. For many performers, being part of a sideshow is a way to find a sense of community, showcase their talents, and challenge stereotypes. While there are certainly valid criticisms of these shows, it's important to recognize the agency and complexity of the performers themselves. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed learning about this unique and often misunderstood part of history. If you have any other interesting facts or stories to share, please leave them in the comments below. So, press that thumbs up icon, hit that big fat subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.